Hi again. I think we're back after a few technical hitches. We're in rural Chile here. Don't know if you can see, there's a volcano there, and yeah, sometimes the signal's not great, but thanks for bearing with us. I'm Becca, I'm from Team Brave. We're a UK and Chilean based non-for-profit organisation that help people with their confidence through sports and activities. Welcome to the new series that we're doing. We started with Feel Good Football Fitness. So there's 11 sessions of that in the clubhouse, which is based on the football that we do with Team Brave in Bristol, which is all about like inclusive and fun female football to give people a confidence boost. And now we're starting a new series in partnership with the Global Goals World Cup. I'll show you my cool football. And the idea is that we're going to show you some innovative ways in which you can integrate the global goals into games and stuff to teach kids, because kids definitely learn better, well, maybe everyone learns better when it's fun and when it's a game-based activity. So that's the idea of these sessions, and we're really open to any feedback or suggestions, or if you have ideas and you want to share them, then that's the idea, that it's all about us all contributing and learning. So yeah, today's session is based on number 1, no poverty. There's 17 global goals, so 17 sessions ahead of us. So yeah, let's get started. Like I said, we're coming to you from Chile, and yeah, hi to everyone watching. I know that my mum and dad are watching. Hi guys. And special shout out to Jane, who is Lois, one of our committee members' mum, and Lois said that Jane's been tuning into loads of the sessions, so thanks Jane. I really appreciate you watching. Yeah, hope everyone's having a good Friday, and I'll just take you through the plan of action for these sessions. Oh, and one thing, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but Ava, who's one of our ambassadors for Brave, she used to play for Arsenal, and she gave me this top, so just so in case there's any controversy out there. My friend Daniel in Ghana is not going to be happy that I just announced that I'm not a fan. Okay, so here we go. So the plan of action, I know it's a lot at once, but let's focus on one thing at a time. So yeah, let's go to this one. So for the sessions, it's going to be based on the high five principle. So just something memorable for kids. They can normally remember stuff if you kind of follow a similar routine. So high five. So that means we're going to do a fun warm-up every time. And then we'll do a global goal game that they could do on their own. For example, we're all in lockdown here, so there's probably a lot of kids that are alone in their house. Then we're going to do a global goals game that they could do as a group. So hopefully when we go back to not being in lockdown, or if you've got a big family. And then number 4 is a challenge. So remember the Brave challenges that we've been doing? You might have seen them on our Instagram and website. So we did 20 Brave challenges to get people through the start of lockdown, and so I'll just be throwing in a few of them. And then the action at the end, that's going to be something that everyone can do. So like a very little, an easy thing which is related to the goal, just so think of the impact that can make, because if say 10 people are watching right now, then if everyone does that little action, then that's already quite a lot of change made. So yeah, that's the idea. So our high five method. Okay, here we go. So the warm-up today is going to be a Robin Hood warm-up. So in the warm-up, just to let you know, I'm always going to be making a fool of myself, because I'm doing the warm-ups as I would talk to 5-year-olds. So you have to be ready for that, like even more enthusiasm than normal. The challenge today is going to be the eagle neck balance. So those people who are regular watchers of Brave will be ready for that. And the action, haven't decided yet, because hoping to get some feedback from people in the comments of what small thing they think they could do for the no poverty. Okay, so we're going to start with the warm-up of Robin Hood. Hope you're all familiar with Robin Hood. So it's going to be quite foresty. Luckily we live in rural Chile, so we have a whole range of trees here. But if you do not have access to trees, which I imagine most people don't, unfortunately, then you have to just kind of imagine you're in a forest. Okay, so the warm-up's going to work like this. If you've worked with kids before, then you'd know that they really like to imagine stuff, especially at a young age, between maybe like 4 and I'd say like 9. They really like using their imagination. Our niece, for example, got really good creativity and gets fully immersed in anything that's really imaginative. So that's why it's really good to put a theme on the warm-ups, because it's just more interesting for the kids. So yeah, the warm-up's always going to have a theme. So today is Robin Hood. The commands of this warm-up is going to be Robin, and that is going to involve you having a bow and arrow and firing it. So this action, although you might think it's just an imaginary bow and arrow, but you're actually getting an upper body workout here, like that. Okay. Then we had Maid Marian. So, oh, maybe I mix it. Yeah, Maid Marian. Let's say it's gonna be. Is there swords in Robin Hood? Yeah, now there's swords. We're having swords in Robin Hood. Okay, so Maid Marian is going to be like some kind of sword action going on. I don't think there are swords. Okay, anyway, we now have swords. And then, oh, the sheriff. If we shout the sheriff's coming, what you need to do is, in your house, imagine you need to hide behind a tree. Now, I luckily have some trees here, so I will be hiding behind these trees. If you don't have a tree in your house, then you need to hide behind like a table or something like that. And although that might seem very stupid, it's actually like if you're ducking down, then you're getting a quad workout here and you're getting your legs moving, and it's quite funny. So yeah, hopefully kids will do it. Let's give it a go. So I'm already warmed up just from talking. Okay, so let's start making a fool of myself this Friday. Okay, so let's get the ball involved. So we'll just say, start dribbling your ball, and then when you hear the commands, that's when you do the silly things. So lots of touches. We want kids to be touching, from a football coach's point of view, you want kids to be getting as many touches on the ball as you can, just for their development. Is Ellen watching good? Hi Ellen! Ellen is our most loyal fan. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, ready? And Robin Hood. So get your arrows out. It's kind of a bit like the Hunger Games as well. Okay, hopefully everyone's firing their arrows. Okay, luckily, as you've had 11 sessions of feel-good football fitness training, you'll now be pros at using all parts of the foot. So mix it up. Okay, Maid Marian, so that's the random new sword fighting that we've got. I'm really not good at sword fighting with my left hand. Might look a bit more like a lightsaber. Okay, yeah. Cool, and moving with the ball. You should notice your breathing rate's increasing, your heart rate's going up. If you want to know, you put 2 fingers on your neck, and you should be able to feel an increased pulse rate. Okay, the one we've all been waiting for. The sheriff is coming! You have to hide. I'm in blue, it's easy. I'm not wearing camouflage. Just so you know, during our Brave Park summer camps, which last this year, we did about 10 weeks, and I spent 10 weeks of my life basically hiding behind trees and pretending to be a dragon in various games. So I'm very experienced at hiding. Let's go a few more times. The sheriff's coming! This is just for my mum. Here we have some flowers, the national flower of Chile. Copiwe? Yeah, just for my mum there. Okay, I think we're Is everyone warmed up? Very warmed up. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the setting. So the individual game here, if you watched on Wednesday, we touched on these games on Wednesday, but we wanted to improve them for today, so that's why we're going to go through them again. So there's the idea is that we want to get these points across for the kids using the games. So the learnings from the games we want to get across today is that they should work hard to achieve things, that they should share their rewards with other people, or share anything with other people, and that they need to communicate and work together. So those are like the fundamental learnings that we're trying to get across to the kids. So what you need to do to bring these three things into the individual individual global goal game is you're gonna challenge the kids to do different challenges, anything you want, and then whatever challenge they do is going to be worth a certain amount of rewards, depending on how difficult it is, and then they're going to collect the rewards, and then naturally the kids will probably be competitive and want to have the most for themselves. And then the important thing is to emphasize that at the end, no matter what you've got, no matter what each individual kid has got, then they need to divide it so everyone's got equal. Like in Bay Park, if we do a chocolate egg hunt or something, or some of the treasure trail, then even though maybe it's competitive during, then we try and say, like, okay, but at the end everyone's going to have the same that we're all going to share. So doesn't go down well, but you know, you've got to try. So we're going to do a few challenges. I'll be receiving a reward depending on how hard they are, which will be judged by cameraman Goose. He's going to say how many cones I deserve, and then at the end you would divide them with everyone else. I don't have anyone else to play with, but I'm going to represent everyone else with my smiley ball. There's my mum and dad watching. So this is my friends' smiley balls. Okay, so this is the rewards I'm going to be getting, the cones. And let's do some challenges. So first challenge up is going to be some juggling. So you can do these challenges as well. Okay, so the first challenge, we'll do 10 juggles. Okay, Goose, how many cones am I going to earn for this? 2. Okay, right, ready? Okay, yahoo! Hope everyone managed to earn their cones or whatever you've got to earn in your house. There's 2. Next challenge, gonna be 5 headers. How many is it worth, please? 3, okay. Okay, so the important thing is if the kids don't get it straight away, like I didn't then, that you emphasise that, okay, try again. So like perseverance. Ready? 5 was an ambitious one for me. Right, 1 again. Woo! Okay, got my... 3 more cones. Okay, next challenge. I've got mud on my face now. Step overs. Okay, so the challenge is to do, you've got to do 5 step overs in 5 seconds. Okay, ready, steady, go. Okay, just in case you haven't done a step over before, very common mistake is to do it like that, where you then kind of trip yourself up. So step over, you go to the outside, so you draw a circle with your little toe. outside. Nearly everyone I've ever coached a step over starts like that. Okay, just a top tip. Sorry? One cone. Because it's easy. And a physical one now. Plank. Okay, so the plank's going to be, I'm going to hold it for 20 seconds, and it's going to be worth 4, come on. A high plank or low? You can choose which one you want to do. I'll do a high one. You want to make sure that your wrists are aligned with your shoulders, your core muscles are tense, and that you don't have your bum too high or too low. How are we doing for time? 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully you've got your 1 cone as well. Okay, so then what you do is see how many cones I've earned. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you were doing this if you're a teacher and you're doing this class via Zoom, because I know one of my friends is a teacher and all of her classes are now via Zoom, so you could do this, and then you set the kids all the challenge, and then they could maybe like collect their own, make their own money and collect that, or they could like collect spoons or something that everyone has in the house. So then everyone can show how many cones or whatever money you're using, how many they received. And then the important thing at the end is, instead of saying like, oh well done, you won, because also kids don't like losing, as you know if you work with kids. So then you've got your friends, so the other kids in the class, or if you're like me, you only have smiley little balls as your friends, then you're going to say, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. I've got 7 cones. Luckily I'm not going to bring in maths for this, so luckily this guy, he got 1, this one got 0, this one got 2, and this one got 1. No, that's I need to have, maths is not my strong point. Yeah, there we go. So there's 10, and then now we're going to divide by, Fat Goose is looking at me like, you're the worst mathematician ever. So there's 5 of us, we've got 10 cones, so luckily, nice round number, everyone's going to be receiving 2. And everyone's a winner, okay? So that's the concept for the kids, okay? That's what we do at Brave Park, and they never realise that everyone's going to be a winner every time, but it's good to show those points. So let's go back to our session plan. We've done the first one. So now we're going to integrate it into a group game. So it's quite a similar principle. You could keep the Robin Hood theme going if you wanted, and say that you're all in a forest being Robin Hood. You're going to put the money or the cones in the middle now. And the aim of the game is quite a common sports game. It's like treasure chest. So the kids are going to be split into teams, and they need to come into the middle and take the treasure. So the orange people are the ones trying to take the treasure, and they're all going to be working in their teams, but also they're all together. That's why I've drawn them the same colour. Normally you would do it as a competition, but in this global goals game, they're all working together against the blue defenders, which would represent like poverty or things that cause poverty. So as you can see from the description there, players collect the rewards from the centre, which represents like having to work hard. You can make them do it in different ways. You could say like you've got to hop in, you've got to do roly-polies on the way in, whatever you want. Then the catch is, the difference here is the orange people here are only going to win when all the teams have got the same amount of cones. So if this team is very good, they won't win unless they're sharing with the other teams. And these guys, the blue poverty ones, they're going to be robbing all the teams and trying to cause chaos so that people are not having equal amounts. Okay, so I don't have people to play with, but I'll try and show you a bit live. So what you do is you put the money or the rewards or the gold or whatever you want to call it in the middle. Then you would have your the defender. So that's going to be the red guy. They're guarding the money. Then me and my yellow friends, we're going to be in each corner of the pitch. It doesn't matter though. Okay. And then when we say go, we're going to be dribbling into the middle, get some money, and take it back and put it in my base. Okay. Meanwhile, everyone else is doing the same. Okay. Then I'm going to come back in, and now I'll need to be looking up, seeing what my friends have got. Okay. And I can see this guy over here. He's not got any yet. Not sure why, but anyway. So then I'm going to dribble over here, give them one of mine. Okay. Meanwhile, maybe the defender in the middle, they're going to take it back. That could happen. Okay, so all the while we're communicating on the outside. Need to say like, okay, we need more. If I've got a lot, then I'm going to say, I've got loads, guys. Do you need some? So it's about the communication on the outside. So I'm keeping working hard, getting my money. Okay, and then I see this one over here. Okay, so now I've got one. There's one over there. We still need to give those guys one. Doing it one at a time. Kids nearly always cheat in this game, so you just have to enforce that. It's just one at a time. Take this one over here. Okay, so yeah, we won, because if you look, all of the bases now have got one each. So that means this guy in the middle, they lost the poverty. Hopefully that's always going to happen, that the middle guys are going to lose, because the yellow team with me, we have the same on the outside, so that therefore we won. Woohoo! Okay, so hopefully that you understand the game now. Just show you again on the diagram, and we can put these drawings up on the clubhouse website so that you have access to them. I've just put here, you could also do it as a forest game, so it doesn't have to be football or basketball, it could be done in the forest if you've got access to that. Okay, so just going back to our high five model, we've done the warm-up, we've done the global goals individual game, we've done the group game. Just for progression for older kids, if you are doing this, if you're doing it with 5-year-olds, then you could just let the game teach the values without really saying much. If you're doing it with older kids or teenagers, then maybe you play it and then you talk about more advanced things. So here we've got some prepared, more advanced thoughts. So you could explain that 700 million people still live in extreme poverty. So I think, if I remember rightly from my session from the Brave Feel Good Football, I think it was something like less than $1.70 or something like that is defined as poverty. So people, 700 million people are still living at, they're spending on their life less than $1.70 a day. And that's insane. Like here in Chile you can't even buy a coffee for that. So yeah, it's very humbling. You could talk about how people are struggling with even the most basic needs like health, education, access to water. You can get the kids to brainstorm that. And our well-being, social cohesion and economy is all linked to each other, so we need to ensure nobody is living in poverty. So like the reason why we need to make sure that it's a bit more equality and no one is being left behind. So those are kind of points you could bring across with the older kids. Just get them to think of of things and how they could find solutions. Maybe ask them what the cones represent. Like, does it represent money, or does it represent sanitation, water, food, education, like other stuff you need to get out of poverty. Right, so now the challenge. I know you've all been waiting for this. So the challenge is the eagle balance. Okay, should know it really well by now. So, nice and muddy ball. So the ball's got to go on the back of your neck. You're going to put your arms out like an eagle, and then you're going to try and walk around. So we'll all do it together now, and you've got to see how long you can keep the ball on your neck. Ready? Sorry if you washed your hair today. Ready? And go. Oh no, I flapped too much. Okay, how's that going for everyone? So you want to get it so you're lifting your head a bit and your arms are out so it's nice and flat. And then you can do stuff like go into a press up, or you can roll it down your back and then kick it. Let's try that one. So you roll it down. Oh yes. So those are just some fun ones you can show the kids. And that brings us on. Don't know if you need more time to do the eagle balance. Brings us on to the action. So anyone got any ideas of small things we can all do to help with the goal for no poverty? Very, very easy things. Write it in. Is there any comments that need to respond to? Everyone's busy doing their eagle balance. Okay, so the action, I would say a small thing we could all do is, I don't know, maybe look up a charity that you could contribute to or something. Or I think tomorrow there's quite a lot of these stay home, run 5k things, like charity campaigns for the help the key workers and the NHS. So for example, that's something you could do, like one of these, support the NHS with a running 5k or something like that. So I'll put that down. So the small action we can all do is support the key workers with a donation. Okay, brilliant. So going back with the kids, it's good if you revisit the same model, so you're going to get them to hold their hand out and say, have we covered everything? So the fun warm-up, yes, Robin Hood. Then the global goal game for no poverty, the Robin Hood challenges. Then the global goal game in a group, so the Robin Hood like treasure chest type thing. Then the challenge was the eagle balance, and then the action was supporting key workers with a donation. So imagine if everyone watching now gave £5 to, or €5, $5, 5 pesos, then even with 10 people, that's quite a good donation. So yeah, I think unless anyone's got any other comments, then we're all good for today. Hope you've had a good session. It's been fun for me to take it, and I hope you've got something out of it. And if you work with kids, hopefully it was helpful. And I'm going to be back on Sunday. The global goals are going to show like repeats of the Brave training, the Feel Good Football Fitness, in case you missed any of them. So there's 11. So that's going to be on Sunday. Monday I do the Brave training in Spanish. So for the Spanish speaking world or anyone that wants to learn Spanish, that's on Monday. And then the Global Goals Games is back on Wednesday and Friday. So yeah, hopefully you had fun and look forward to seeing you then, and I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you.